Hey guys, welcome back to NY Sports MC. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell. If you like the videos, give it a thumbs up and comment below. Just want to do a quick recap here of day one, night one, as well as go into night two, which will be starting here in a few hours, where we're scheduled to have 3 picks tonight, but you never know. With Joe Douglas, could always move around, accumulate more, get rid of some. So let's start with round one. I think it started out very much the way we thought it was going to, minus the trades. There was a lot of rumors that people were going to try to trade up for certain players, but I don't think anybody really was too much of a surprise early on. I guess Simmons falling a little bit, but you could have seen that happening. The biggest surprise was the Cardinals going with Simmons. Everybody kind of had them slated for a tackle once they did trade for Hopkins, but obviously that opened the door for us at number 11, which I'm happy with the pick of Mekhi Becton. I would have preferred to have Andrew Thomas or Wills, but obviously they were not on the board. And I know that, and I'm going to own this, I know that I had Wirfs ahead of Becton when I did a video a few weeks back. But when we came on the clock, whether you want to believe me or not, I was saying to a few people I was talking to on the phone that at that moment, thinking about it, I wanted Mekhi Becton. I knew they had a conversation with him the night before. And Becton, like I mentioned in my video, which I'm going to link, he is a left tackle. That's it. There's no what he may have to go to guard, things like that. And that's why I wanted him over Wirfs. At pick 11, I really didn't want a player that could very well have to get bumped into guard. Well, he could be an excellent guard. He could be the next Quentin Nelson. Who knows, right? But I wanted that left tackle to protect Sam's blind side, and Becton has the better chance of being that. I would prefer to trade down with the Broncos because I still think you could have got somebody there. But obviously, they didn't want to trade up, and they stood pat and still got their player. So great for them. But one thing I wanted to comment on the whole Becton thing, if you guys haven't, go to the Jets Twitter account. They have a video up of the phone call to Mekhi Becton. And if you guys watched any of those videos last year, it's telling. And whether you like Gase or not, you want to. If you're a true Jets fan, this is what you want to see. They're at least on the same page. Last year, you watch any of those videos, and Gase doesn't get on the phone with a single draft pick. He didn't get a. And there was all the reports that he walked out of the draft room. You never saw him on the cameras when they showed the Jets war room last year. So having that camaraderie and being on the same page is just, it's going to help this program one way or the other, because at least they're collaborating together. They're working together as a cohesive unit and not working against each other like they were last year. So I was very excited to see that they showed Gase that he hopped on the phone with Becton, because it's showing that they came to this decision as a unit. And that's when it's going to be successful. When they decide that they want to pick certain players, because what you don't want to see happen is you don't want the GM to pick somebody the coach doesn't want to coach. Right? And that was the big thing with Dwayne Haskins last year, right? They said Coach didn't want him, but the GM made the selection anyway. The owner told him to make the selection, and it's just gonna hurt that player. It's gonna hurt your team overall as well, because there's that little, if you want to call it, built-up resentment that's not your guy. So it's just good to see and refreshing to see that they seemed to all be cohesive last night. They all seemed very excited about Becton. So, other than that, there were a few surprise picks. Packers coming up to trade for a quarterback, I think was a little surprising. And you guys know I love him, but I was not expecting Damon Arnett to go in the middle of the first round. I wanted him at pick 48 for the Jets. But I told you guys, this guy I'm not going to say that they know better than everybody else, but this guy's got talent, and I've been saying it. He's got an opportunity to be great. I don't want to hear that he played with a lot of talent around him. Probably just means that he was targeted more, right? Remember, when we had Darrelle Revis, were they throwing the ball at Revis? No. they were picking on the other corners. So if you want to look at that, Okudah, if he's so great that he went number 3 overall, which he is, then they're going to try to target the other corners. So it's like Arnett had to compete, and he had to play well, and he had to show out, because it's like they don't want to go against these better players. So having the better players around you when it comes to defense like that helps you, because now you're getting picked on and you're getting targeted more by that offense. So we'll see how he does. I still think it was a little bit of a reach to take him there, because I think you could have got him later. But those are just some of the ones I wanted to chat about. And obviously, since I was so high on Arnett, it felt like validation a little bit to see him go in the first round. So I wanted to go through a few players here that are still on the board that I think could be targets for the Jets, whether it's a second or a third round. Let's start with where we made a selection already, right? The offensive line. I can see the Jets, if one of these guys fall and they really love them, going with his pick, even in the second round. But you got Cushenberry, who can play center. You got Hennessy, who can play center guard. Hunt is going to be that guard, and Biadish, center guard. So this is something where you could easily see them look to enhance that as well. If they do, then you have Becton at left tackle. You have maybe McGovern at left guard, because that's Van Roten at left guard. Sorry, McGovern at center, or if one of these rookie centers you draft and you want to put them at center, and then move McGovern to right guard, or the rookie to right guard, either way, and then right tackle you have Fant or Edoga, whoever would win that battle. I mean, Jones is still on the board. Would the Jets consider potentially drafting him if he fell to 48? I don't know. I don't know if that'd be a little overkill, especially with you paying Fant $10 million at least for this 1 year, because you can kind of get out of it after that year. So I don't know and Ezra Cleveland's still on the board too. So there are still some tackles on the board if they wanted to just say, hey, let's get 2 young bookends tackles and be done with it for the next decade. Why not? I mean, we don't know enough of Fant or Edoga to just say, yeah, whoever wins, you can have the job. I think it might be a little overkill to go tackle. I'd rather go interior if we do draft another lineman today. But then you look at some of the edge rushers. Epineza, Gross Matos, those were 2 people that a lot of experts had mocked in the first round. I don't think I'd want either of them, though. If either one of them did fall to 48, I'd rather go ahead and grab one of these other positions. But because I think that there's some guys that we can get in the third round, potentially Weaver, Grenard. There's a few other guys that we can get in the third round. I'd rather spend that asset on that edge rush than the second. Well, let's look at wide receivers. This is where everybody thinks we're going to go in the second round, and there is quite a bit of talent. Top 3 names were heavily mocked in first rounds, and that's T. Higgins, Laviska Shenault, and Denzel Mims. You also have Pittman, who's a huge fan favorite, one of my favorites as well. And then you have Van Jefferson, Claypool, and Edwards. Those are probably going to be more your third round options. So you look, and you easily got at least 4 options here in the second round. Can one of them fall to us? Sure. Out of the 4, I'm going to be honest, I would probably have Mims and Pittman as the top 2. The reason I'm going to drop Higgins and Shenault is the fact that Higgins said that he admittedly said that he doesn't run a deep route tree. That kind of scares me. But at least he admits it. He knows it. If he is willing to work, he can fix that. And then Shenault, the injury concerns just scare me. I don't want to take people with that much of a red flag on the injury side. I know the talent is immense and the ability is there, but there's a reason he's falling, and it is that risk of that injury. Mims and Pittman, I think, are safer options. I think that they could be immediate impact players for us starting. So hopefully we come away with 2 wide receivers tonight. That would be huge if we can maybe get one second and then go ahead and get one in the second pick in the third round. Really solidify that group and help to solidify this offense. The other position I wanted to mention briefly, I know this video is approaching 10 minutes here, is the cornerback position. There's 3 corners who are available who kind of got rotated in and out of first round or second round. That's Jalen Johnson, Christian Fulton, and Trayvon Diggs, the brother of Stefan Diggs. I think that if one of these guys is there at 48, that Douglas could strongly consider it. It would be funny if we drafted Diggs and had him cover his brother twice a year. But other than that, I think if we don't go corner, that's when you can see them ease, and they go maybe interior line or wide receiver. I think you can see them possibly trade like a Williamson tonight, or even rumors are coming out they may trade Henry Anderson or look to trade Henry Anderson. They could still cut Winters if they draft an interior offensive lineman, and then free up that money and bring in Logan Ryan. But if they draft one of these guys, Johnson, Fulton, Diggs, I think Logan Ryan's done. I don't think we cleared a space to get him. So I think that's going to be it. We're either going to get Logan Ryan by cutting some players in positions that we draft, or we're going to draft a corner. So tonight is going to be big in the Logan Ryan rumor. So if you are a Logan Ryan fan, tonight could be very telling if we're going to get him or not. So that's my thoughts. I'm not going to have any predictions on who I think we should pick in these picks, because it's all going to depend on what happens right before. But I definitely want to come out of tonight with a wide receiver or two, and then either an edge or a corner, and then possibly an interior offensive lineman. So wide receivers obviously need number one. Edge corner kind of would be that. Edge corner and interior line I kind of all lump together. It all just depend on the value at that point of who's on the board and who kind of fell to us. So let me know what you guys think down below. Who are you guys targeting? I know there's going to be a lot of people saying Mims, probably Chenault as well, Higgins, Pittman. So let me know what you guys think below. Who are you guys targeting? Who should we look out for tonight? Do you think we trade? That's a strong possibility as well. I will be on with my reaction videos right after the picks and or trades. So look out for that tonight as well. And as always, jet up.